Reaper versus Pro Tools. Is the summing the same? This video is actually a follow-up to a Stream Records shootout, taking stems with equal attributes and then summing them down in both Pro Tools and Reaper. The conclusion and the result that is portrayed at the end of the video is that the two tracks will null when one is flipped in phase. A null means there would be perfect phase cancellation. Take one track, flip the phase, and put it on top of each other. The result is that sound and energy are completely gone. You can try this at home by taking any audio file, copying it, reversing the polarity of one, and then playing both back. This video claims in the test that both Reaper and Pro Tools sum tracks have a total and complete phase cancellation. While I'm not here, at least this time, to get into the technical and logistical semantics, both positive and negatives of Reaper versus Pro Tools, I must call out a response to this video because I don't see anyone talking about this. No, these tracks do not null. Now this shootout was seemingly very well thought out and put together. I will of course link back to the original video so you can download the files and watch the video for yourself. Just take note that if you download the files and compare the Pro Tools versus Reaper track, the Reaper track is already flipped in polarity, so remember to flip it back. A colleague and I went back and forth about this for a few days, and even he had a colleague that he went back and forth with. Interesting enough, his colleague claimed that he heard a distinct sonic difference between the Pro Tools sum track and the Reaper sum track. Of course, after watching the video and doing the test myself, I thought, how could this be? They are nulling. Again, assuming everything was properly done in this video. At this point, I need to confess to you guys that I don't really use Pro Tools. I think it's a fantastic program, although it's a little patronizing in its name. I've been using Reaper as my main DAW for over 8 years. So when it was all said and done, this test did give me a certain sense of comfort knowing that the two DAWs summed the same. Of course, digging into the online community, which is always dangerous, the common consensus is that most DAWs these days will sum equal. It's also interesting because I'm not familiar with any DAW that proclaims superior sound over another, just different workflows. So after some days of thinking about this, it still did not sit right for myself or my colleague who owns another studio. He in fact changed his mind several times, with his final stance being that yes, one did sound better than the others. I of course argued, this is impossible, it's science, they null. Unless of course we're talking about something metaphysical or that great studio magic. Like that analog tube magic that you can get from a computer program. This led me to again recreate the test and dive a little bit deeper. One more time guys, I want to remind you that I am not making this test myself. I am using the provided files in the original Stream Records video. Using Reaper's built-in JS frequency analyzer tool, I was able to pull down the graph further than normal decibel readings. In fact, it goes down to negative 450 decibels. That's when I saw it. I didn't hear it, mind you, but I saw it. There was sound. There was energy. The two did not null. It was breathing around negative 75 to negative 87 decibels. There was no way for me to hear any of this. I cranked everything up as far as I could, and yet it was there. Now I know most of you are gonna say, whoa, a negative 175 decibels, that's not gonna do anything. That is so low, that's so quiet. But then again, that's like saying, okay, the Earth's core doesn't affect your life or your drive to work in the morning. The good news is I think this does prove there is a negligible amount of differences between the two. If there was something significant, even off the slightest, we would be more into the negative 10 to negative 30 dB range of sound. A much higher audible thing. Does this change anything? For me, no. Now remember, the noise I found was simply the summed differences between the two tracks. There's no way to objectively tell if one was coming from one or the other, or which one would be better because of these noises. You can consider these noises dither. Again, this is sub 150 decibels. I'm hoping better minds will jump in the discussion and we can talk about this. I'm far from a scientist and barely understand how algorithms are put together. Some people say it's simple math, others will say this noise is dither. Common sense is telling me that although very similar, no two companies' algorithms would be exactly the same even though they would be achieving very similar results. So in conclusion, to reiterate this video with a very specific topic, no, summing in Reaper and Pro Tools are not the same and they will not null. Which DAW do you use and why? Are you one of the people that believes that one DAW sounds better than the other? Go ahead and leave a like and comment below. Thanks for watching and don't forget to check out my other videos.